Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Epic Sports Broadcasting Network and tonight's broadcast of Heartland Championship Wrestling. It is 6:05 on a Saturday night Eastern Time. What better time to broadcast old-time wrestling action? I can remember the days of WTBS when 6:05 p.m. on Saturday night was World Championship Wrestling, and tonight it's Heartland Championship Wrestling as we bring you three exciting matches from the August pay-per-view broadcast. Heartland Havoc 93, the Boulevard of Broken Dreams. Dreams will be broken here tonight as we've got two title matches in store and a sensational main event. In our main event tonight, it will be Falls Count Anywhere, pitting the Nature Boy Ric Flair against his heated rival Magnum TA. And that match will be the debut of a new set of game charts that I have developed called the Ringside Mayhem charts for matches that go out of the ring multiple times. Instead of using the old-fashioned Filsinger out-of-the-ring chart, which is a fine chart for standard out-of-the-ring actions, this chart will take things to the next level in matches where the out-of-the-rings just get out of hand. Also tonight we will see the Ring of Honor Heavyweight Championship defended as Bryan Danielson, the champion, takes on the former champion Moose in a return matchup. And in our first televised match tonight, it will be the Queen of the Indies Championship. This is the World Championship of Ladies Wrestling in my King of the Indies promotion, as the champion Saraya defends against the double tough challenger from Vancouver, Canada, none other than Nicole Matthews. Already tonight we've seen three exciting pay-per-view matches. The card started off with a rematch between hated rivals the Rock and Roll Express and the Midnight Express. And it was interference and distractions by Jim Cornette that made the difference in that match, as the Rock and Rolls pretty much had Stan Lane dead to rights before Robert Gibson left the ring to pursue Jim Cornette. Gibson got back into the ring, found himself on the receiving end of a Midnight Express double team, and he suffered the pinfall. Our second match of the night was the title defense of the Heartland Ladies Tag Team Championship. The dominant team of Nicole, Savoy, and Shayna Baszler took on the upstart challengers known as Legendary, Malia Hosaka and Thunder Kitty. And Baszler and Savoy dominated that title defense and made a successful defense as they put away Thunder Kitty. Most recently, we saw six-man tag team action grudge match style as the team of Ted DiBiase, Dr. Death Steve Williams, and Terry Bam Bam Gordy dominated a six-man grudge match against Ron Garvin, Lex Luger, and Sting. They left Luger a bloody mess at ringside before Garvin got into the ring and got choked out by Ted DiBiase with that nasty Cobra Clutch. And that was all she wrote for Garvin and all she wrote for the baby faces in that match. So we've already seen some great action here on tonight's pay-per-view. And next up, it will be the Queen of the Indies Championship. Introducing first the challenger from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, weighing in at 140 pounds and standing at 5'8", Nicole Matthews. And her opponent is your reigning Queen of the Indies. This is the Ladies World Championship of Independent Wrestling, and she is one double tough English wrestler, Saraya Knight, known to some as the mother of WWE superstar Paige, but she is a double tough and just a mean grappler in her own right. So let's get things started. I've got a little bit of a different setup with my dice tonight. I'm going to use the dice tower to hopefully keep better control of the dice so they don't spill all over the place. I'm also using dice that I picked up last weekend at Gen Con. These are somewhat larger than the average dice and should give better YouTube visibility. we'll read the red, then the gray, as we roll these die for offense and defense. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble. The opening initiative roll goes to the challenger, Nicole Matthews. And it is Matthews starting off with an attempted backbreaker. She's going to need to convert a power roll to pull that one off, and she can't get it done. Saraya powers out of that attempted backbreaker, and it is Saraya who comes back with a nasty rake of the eyes. Nicole Matthews has been staggered. She is vulnerable. What's Saraya going to do? She just pitches Nicole right out of the ring. Getting things started in a hurry is Saraya Knight as she pitches Nicole out of the ring. What's going to happen? It is Nicole and Saraya duking it out, and Saraya, hits Nicole with a stiff right hand, and Nicole has been stunned. The referee corrals the action back into the ring. Saraya is in control. She's going to hit that corner drop kick. She's going to need a death jump roll to make that happen, and she nails it. She nails it. She's going to go for the cover this early in the match. The pin roll is 2, and Nicole kicks out of that one easily. But Saraya quickly getting into the head of Nicole Matthews in this title defense, taking control with that rake of the eyes, a drop kick to the corner. Now what's she going to do? She's going to pitch Nicole out of the ring once again. Nicole is no slouch on the arena floor, but this time it is Saraya once again taking control as she comes out of the ring and she smashes Nicole with a steel chair. Saraya may be disqualified for that infraction, but she passes the DQ roll. Or no, that's a 6. Saraya's got a DQ rating of 6. It takes 2 rolls to be disqualified, and she gets a stern warning from the referee, but this match will continue. Saraya Knight in control after walloping Nicole Matthews with a chair. Nicole is in trouble already. And Saraya's got her back in the ring for the running Samoan drop. And down goes Nicole to the mat hard. Saraya goes for the cover once again. The pin roll is 3, and once again Nicole kicks out. That's 2 fatigue tokens already for Nicole Matthews as Saraya is dominating the early going. Another running Samoan drop. Another pin attempt. The pin count is 4, and she kicks out once again. Nicole Matthews kicking out of 3 pinfall attempts here in the early going, but Saraya is showing no mercy as she continues on the attack. She's going to try that corner drop kick once again. But this time Nicole sidesteps that one, and Saraya crashes hard into the corner. Saraya missed that drop kick and crashes hard. Nicole in control. What is she going to do? She is going to pitch Saraya Knight out of the ring. My goodness, fighting fire with fire. Excuse me. Nicole pitches Saraya out of the ring. The ringside brawl ensues. And on a roll of A6, that is going to be Saraya taking control with a smash to the arena ringside table. This could lead to a disqualification. And yes, indeed, Saraya Knight has been disqualified. Oh my goodness. That match was wild from the start. Your winner by disqualification is Nicole Matthews. But that is not going to satisfy her. She wants that title belt. And as the result of coming away victorious in a title situation by disqualification, Nicole Matthews has earned herself another shot at the Queen of the Indies. And the next time these two hook up, it's going to be no disqualification rules. They're going to settle this once and for all. This feud over the Queen of the Indies title, the highly coveted, the most coveted title in women's independent wrestling. So for tonight, it's Saraya holding on to the belt. But Nicole got the best of the referee's decision on the disqualification. And that is going to be it for our ladies' championship match here tonight. Next up, fans, it's going to be the Ring of Honor Heavyweight Championship. Your current champion is Bryan Danielson. He won that belt 1 month ago with a victory over the former champion Moose. And tonight we're going to see the rematch as Moose has exercised his rematch clause. And right here at the pay-per-view broadcast Boulevard of Broken Dreams, we'll see if somebody's dreams are going to be broken here tonight in Indianapolis. We are at the Market Square Arena. And it is Bryan Danielson defending against the big man Moose. Moose is the first man to the ring. He is a big 300-pounder out of Baltimore, Maryland. Former member of the New England Patriots. Now full-time in the professional wrestling business. He was an imposing champ, held the belt for about 6 months before Danielson came along and captured the title 1 month ago. Danielson is a much smaller man, 185 pounds, out of Aberdeen, Washington. But he knows what he is doing inside that squared circle. He is a master of technical wrestling. He got the best of Moose in their first encounter, and it's going to be Moose attempting to retake that victory and regain the Ring of Honor Heavyweight Championship as we get things rolling. The opening initiative roll is tied, and that means there may be pre-match mayhem. When we have a tie in the opening roll, we go to this lovely Face to the Mat simulation board game book, which I purchased from Play.com from Face to the Mat Wrestling. I do enjoy Face to the Mat Wrestling, but Legends of Wrestling is my go-to game. We are going to have a wild card result here as we get things started in this matchup. It will be Moose rolling on the highlight reel for ring matches. And on a roll of 53, is the wrestler heavy? Yes, indeed, Moose is a big man. Opponent is buried under a body avalanche, and that's 2 points. So it is Moose right off the bat getting the jump on Bryan Danielson, courtesy of the Face to the Mat Highlight Center booklet. And Moose will start this match in control on level 2 offense. He got the jump on Danielson with a pre-match attack before the opening bell and body slams Danielson down to the canvas. The bell rings and Moose is in control, and he immediately shoves Danielson into the corner, thrusts his shoulder in there repeatedly, and that's going to cost Danielson a point of fatigue, as already the tide has turned in favor of Moose. Moose now levels Danielson with a heavy headbutt, but Danielson staggers out of the corner. He is dazed, but he is trying to regain his senses. Moose comes back at him with a whip to the ropes. Danielson comes off the ropes, and on a roll of 3, Danielson grabs Moose in a sunset flip, rolls him over for the cover, pinned on a 3, and no, Moose kicks out of that, but Danielson immediately goes to the technical move on Moose and gets the near fall in the early going. It was a very similar move, a sunset flip off the ropes, that Danielson used in the last encounter to defeat Moose and win the Ring of Honor Heavyweight Championship. Danielson now in control, first to his feet, and Danielson is going to lift Moose high up into the air and bounce him down to the mat with a tiger suplex. Very good leverage shown by little Bryan Danielson on that move. Moose is hurt, and Danielson is going to follow up with a discus elbow smash. Moose is hurt. Danielson follows up with a dragon suplex, and Moose is just going to roll out of the ring after that series of devastating suplexes by Bryan Danielson. What's Moose going to do on the arena floor? His ring rating is B, and on a roll of 7, that's going to be the helpless crawl. Moose crawls back into the ring to beat the 10 count. Each man already has a fatigue token on their credit, and Danielson is in control as Moose crawls back in. What's the Dragon going to do? He is going to pitch Moose out of the ring once again. Is Danielson going to attempt a suicide dive? No, he will not. It's going to be a standard out of the ring roll for Moose. And on a roll of 8, it's another helpless crawl back into the ring for Moose, as the referee is counting him down, and Moose once again has to expend his energy and exert himself to beat the 10 count back into the ring. Danielson now in control, and this time he is going to go for the back superplex. That's going to require a death jump roll, and he hits it for a level 3 offense move. Danielson this time is going to go for the small package. Moose kicks right out of that one and gets to his feet. Danielson, keeping in control, whips Moose to the ropes. Moose comes off the ropes. Danielson drops down and Moose goes to the opposite side. Moose comes off the ropes on the opposite side, and both men go for the running clothesline. Both men hit the double running clothesline. Both men are down. Who will be first back to their feet? It's going to be Danielson first to his feet. He is up, and he is in control as Moose remains down. And Danielson once again is going to pitch Moose out of the ring. expending energy on that big man. Is Danielson going to fly? No, he will not. He can use the suicide dive chart on a roll of 2 to 6, but that was a 7. And that puts Moose back on the standard out of the ring chart. And on a roll of 4, Danielson comes out of the ring and a wild brawl erupts. Both wrestlers are going to have to roll disqualification. Danielson hits the first disqualification but survives the second roll. Moose will not be disqualified. Now we roll 1 die to see who wins the brawl and rolls on level 3 offense. On an even roll, this will go to Moose. And on a roll of 3, it is Danielson who wins the brawl outside the ring, getting the best of Moose in that battle on the arena floor. Action returns to the ring, and it's going to be Danielson now going for the finish. He rolls Moose over with a cattle mutilation, that painful, painful double hammerlock on the floor. That is a +3 finishing maneuver, and on a roll of 7 or lower, Moose is going to have to give it up. Here's the roll. It is a 7, and Moose is forced to submit. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, what a submission win for Bryan Danielson, taking a man down who was over 100 pounds bigger. And it is Moose who has to tap out to the cattle mutilation, and Bryan Danielson retains the Ring of Honor Heavyweight Championship. Congratulations to the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, for winning that title. Next up for Danielson, the new #1 contender for the Ring of Honor Heavyweight Championship has already been named. Surprisingly, that man will be C.W. Anderson. C.W. Anderson has been on a nice run of late and managed to defeat Austin Aries in a #1 contenders match. So next in line for Bryan Danielson will be a title defense against C.W. Anderson as Danielson comes into Indianapolis, and it is Moose who is leaving Indianapolis on the Boulevard of Broken Dreams, losing his opportunity to regain the Ring of Honor Heavyweight Championship in tonight's championship bout. So congratulations to Danielson for the victory. And now we take you to the main event of the evening. Falls Count Anywhere. Magnum TA against Ric Flair. These two men had a hellacious brawl earlier this month in St. Louis. And both men were itching for another shot at it. And the promoters booked a Falls Count Anywhere match for tonight's pay-per-view broadcast. The Boulevard of Broken Dreams. And you know what that means. No holds barred. Falls Count Anywhere. No disqualification. This is going to be a battle of wills. Who will survive this insane test? And as I mentioned at the beginning of the night, I have developed a new set of charts called the Ringside Mayhem charts. What I have here is just a draft printout. The charts are completed in an Excel spreadsheet. I don't have the printing laid out how I want it yet. And in fact, if there's anybody watching this broadcast or catching the replay who's good with formatting and printing of charts like this, please hit me up on Facebook at the Sports Simulation and Replays website on Facebook, the Facebook group that is listed in the credits for this video, because I would love to have somebody produce either a PDF or some sort of printable chart. And I will happily share this chart not only with whoever wants to do the work, but anybody who wants a copy of my Ringside Mayhem charts. I would love to share those with members of the community. The basic premise behind this chart is that anytime a match goes out of the ring more than once consecutively in a given match, the wrestlers will roll on this out of the ring again table. And if the roll gets high enough, then we may see some ringside mayhem. That may involve tables. That may involve a foreign object. That may involve outside interference. That may even involve a brawl up into the crowd. We've got separate charts for the tables, a chart for the foreign objects, a chart for the ringside mayhem, all contained here in this set of out of the ring again charts. newly created and seeing their debut here tonight in this Falls Count Anywhere contest between Magnum TA and his nemesis of the day, the Nature Boy Ric Flair. So let's get things started and let's see what happens, fans. Magnum TA is the babyface. He'll use the white fatigue token counter. Cage ratings will be used instead of pin ratings. Also new to the Ringside Mayhem tables is what I like to call the gut check roll. The gut check roll will happen whenever something intense goes down. And that will be when each wrestler rolls a 12-sided die and subtracts the sum of the cage rating and the fatigue tokens. So the more fatigued you are, the more susceptible you are to defeat in a steel cage. That's kind of a measure of one's badassery, you could say. The more will be subtracted from your gut check roll. And in a lot of cases, whoever has the higher result on the gut check roll will take control of that foreign object, take control of the ringside table. Whatever the case may be, these gut check rolls will come in handy. You may ask, why am I using D12s for this? I was watching some sort of gaming podcast and somebody claimed that the D12 is worthless. And I took exception to the D12 being disrespected in that fashion. So I decided I was going to make these Ringside Mayhem tables with D12 as the base roll. And so we'll see that come into play hopefully throughout tonight's Falls Count Anywhere match. Before we get started, I'd like to acknowledge those folks in the chat room. Don C., thank you for coming out for tonight's action. Dave Gardner, always a pleasure. And Rob exclamation point, Mr. Excitement. This man is so exciting, he's got to have the exclamation point by his name. And Rob is favoring Ric Flair in this match. We give him the advantage. Both these guys have a cage rating of 2, so there's really no advantage to be gained. If it gets to outside interference, though, there is no disqualification, and if Flair wants to bring Tully Blanchard or Art Anderson or Barry Windham into the action, that could happen. Magnum TA may have something up his sleeve, but he doesn't have any firm alliances at this point in his NWA tenure. So we'll have to see what happens. And now, without any further ado, we bring you the main event, the Falls Count Anywhere showdown between Magnum TA and the Nature Boy Ric Flair. And the opening roll goes to Flair. He takes the advantage, and he attempts a hip toss. And he gets him over, and Magnum hits the mat hard. But Magnum gets right back up to his feet, and he responds with a hard series of right jabs to the jaw of Flair. Flair is hurt. He is staggering around, but he keeps his feet. Magnum goes with a backdrop. Flair goes down, but he gets back up. And in retaliation, he is going to hit another hip toss. And down goes Magnum TA once again. Magnum is down, but he gets back to his feet. This match starting off as a duel of action, still keeping it in the ring. And this time it is Flair who's going to whip Magnum into the turnbuckle. Magnum bounces off the turnbuckle. What's he going to do? He bounces forward off the turnbuckle. And TA catches Flair with a skull-splitting running lariat. Down goes Flair. Flair staggers around and drops face first onto the mat. How many times have we seen that? Flair slow to get back to his feet. Magnum in control, and he's going to drop the leg across Flair, and Flair remains hurt. Flair slow to get to his feet. Magnum takes him down with a running forearm. Magnum is rallying now. He follows up with a whip to the ropes. Flair comes off the ropes. What's he going to do? And Flair hits Magnum TA. Once again, it's the double clothesline, and this time it is Magnum TA who is first to his feet, and he is going to roll on level 3 offense. Magnum pitches Flair out of the ring. Let the shenanigans begin. Of course, on the first out of the ring chart, we're just going to use the standard chart. Flair is an A on the out of the ring chart, but on a roll of 10, it is Magnum who takes advantage and bashes Ric Flair with a steel chair. This is a no disqualification contest, but after that stiff chair shot, Magnum is in control. Magnum now back in the ring, goes to the abdominal stretch, and Flair is staggered. Flair is hurt. Magnum is in control. Hello, our Red Sox fan. Welcome to the Falls Count Anywhere match. Magnum, TA, and Ric Flair. This time it is TA with a series of drop kicks. And down goes Flair. Flair's not yet ready to be pinned, but that's going to cost him a point of fatigue. What's going to happen now? It's the out of the ring roll. Out of the ring we go. Let's see what's going to happen on the out of the ring ringside mayhem tables. And on a roll of 11, that is going to be the ringside mayhem chart. We go to the ringside mayhem chart. What's going to happen? On a roll of 7, that's going to be the foreign object. Oh my goodness, it is a foreign object. Choose your weapon. And in this case, the weapon of choice will be a steel chair from ringside. This is going to be our first gut check roll of the night. Whoever wins the gut check roll will get control of the steel chair, and we will see what will happen. Magnum TA gets a roll of 1. That's a lousy roll, subtracting his cage rating of 2. No fatigue yet, but Magnum is at a -1 on the gut check roll. Flair gets a 2. He's also at a -1. Lousy rolls on the first gut check roll, and the foreign object is going to come under the control of nobody. And actually both wrestlers are going to grab a weapon and rail away. Nobody could get control of the steel chair, but it looks like Magnum TA has gone for the ring steps. He picks up the ring steps, and Flair is going to go reach into the crowd, and Flair just took away a crutch from a small child at ringside. There's a little disabled kid at ringside here in Indianapolis. Flair doesn't care. He took the crutch, and he bashed Magnum TA across the head. Magnum slams Ric Flair into the steel ring steps, and both these guys come away stunned after that exchange. The referee desperately trying to get the action back into the ring. But we're going to roll again on the ringside mayhem chart and see what happens. And on a roll of 6, they are going to take things back into the ring and play on the standard ring chart. It's going to be the Nature Boy in control. And he is going to be rolling on level 3 offense as both men has bashed the stuffings out of the other one. And oh, Flair takes out the knee of Magnum TA. As Magnum was getting back into the ring, Flair clipped the knee. And that is going to set up an advantage on the figure 4 leg lock. Very interesting mechanic on the Nature Boy Ric Flair card. Every time he hits one of these lower extremity attacks, that adds to the effectiveness of his figure 4 leg lock. So Magnum's not going to take any fatigue points on that, but he does take some damage to that knee. And Flair is going to use the ropes now and attempt a pinfall. He's going to go for the cover, and Magnum kicks out of that, but he is favoring that leg already. And as a result of the pinfall, he is going to take a point of fatigue, and it is Flair now in control. What's Flair going to do? And he goes to the knee clip a second time. That is 2 clips to the knee of Magnum TA, and Magnum is not happy. He is staggering around the ring. He gets to his feet. He is hurt. And Flair is still in control. And Flair lifts Magnum up into the air and slams him down across the knee. Oh, a knee breaker for Flair. That is 3 injuries to the knee of Magnum TA. Magnum TA is having a hard time walking. He is still staggering around the ring hurt. And Flair has Magnum TA right where he wants him. If he can lock on the figure 4, it is going to be dangerous. Flair drops the elbow. Magnum is hurt. Flair now drops his hips across the leg of Magnum TA, and once again he has injured that left leg of Magnum TA. That's now going to be at a +4 if Flair can get the figure 4 on, and that is maximum damage to the knee of Magnum TA. Flair working that leg with cruelty and with devastating expertise. Flair drops the elbow, and this time Magnum gets to his feet, and he storms back. He's fighting on one leg, but he fires a series of jabs at Flair, and Flair is backing away. Magnum TA with a running forearm, and Flair goes down. Flair is down. What's Magnum going to do? He pitches Flair out of the ring once again, and we are going to go back to the out of the ring again Mayhem chart. The roll is a +2, and this time the brawl is going to go into the crowd. Both men are going into the crowd, and the brawl is getting angry, and it's going to be gut check time for both these men. Both men have a gut check rating of 4 because they've got 2 for the cage and 2 for the fatigue tokens. It's been an evenly matched fight, and the fatigue into the the gut check roll goes to Flair. Flair with a 12, and he is just brutalizing Magnum TA on the arena floor. Magnum TA has got his leg tied up in the steel security railing at ringside, and Magnum TA is just having that leg brutalized by Ric Flair. They go up the stairs, and Flair slams the knee of Magnum TA into the railing on the steps leading up the aisleway here at Market Square Arena. And now Flair has got Magnum TA wrapped up in a figure 4 leg lock with his legs tangled up in the steel railings along the steps of the aisleway, and Magnum TA is forced to give it up. Oh my goodness, Magnum TA had to give it up after Flair took him into the crowd, wrapped that leg around the steel security railings along the aisleway stairs here at Market Square Arena, and Magnum TA is writhing in agony on the arena steps. My goodness, TA is hurting for certain, as the Nature Boy Ric Flair just devastated him with that brawl into the crowd. Flair tore up the knee of TA in the ring, took things out of the ring, and just brutalized the knee of Magnum TA on the arena stairway there, going up the aisleway. Got that knee tied up in the security railing along the stairway, and Magnum TA was forced to give it up. Nature Boy Ric Flair is one devastating individual with those submission holds and that mean streak that is unequaled in the sport of professional wrestling. And tonight, he really took the measure of Magnum TA, and it is going to be the training staff coming down it's taken 2 guys now just to try and get Magnum's left leg untangled from that steel security railing, as Ric Flair has done a number on the leg of Magnum TA, and Magnum TA has been devastated. Ladies and gentlemen, that's where we're going to call things to a halt here for the pay-per-view broadcast Heartland Havoc 93, the Boulevard of Broken Dreams. And no dreams were broken greater tonight than those of Magnum TA, as his knee is one mangled mess, and he is forced to submit to Nature Boy Ric Flair in our Falls Count Anywhere main event. So fans, thank you so much for joining us here for Saturday Wrestling from the Dave Cave. It has been a pleasure to have you all here. Rob, thanks for coming. Al Red Sox fan, Clinton Parks, thanks for checking us out here tonight. And of course, Dave Gardner with his appearance in the chat room. And the one and only Al Red Sox fan, and Don C., always a big fan of Heartland Championship Wrestling, is Don C. So thank you everybody for coming out tonight to check out Heartland Havoc 93, the Boulevard of Broken Dreams. That's our show, and I am out of here.